Hello everybody, welcome to Coding with Jerry. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to build the Rubberband Library from scratch. After we've built the Rubberband Library, I'm going to show you how to add it to a Juce project. But not only that, we're going to also add it to a plain Xcode storyboard project. Now, we're doing this in real time. So if we can run across any type of issues or errors, we're going to have to work those things out together. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this thing. So you guessed it. If we're going to build the Rubberband library, we first need to get the source code. So to get the source code, head over to rubberbandaudio.com, and I will put the link in the description. But once you're on the website, what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down all the way to the very bottom, and then down here where it says like developers, we're just going to click this link right there, and then this will take us to the developer section. From here, we just click on Rubberband Library, and then once we click on Rubberband Library, we're going to scroll down, and you can see it. Here it goes. Rubberband Library v4.0.0. Now, this version may change up later on, but for now, we're all to versions 4.0.0. We're going to click on that, and it should download the source code. Now, once that download has complete, we need to open up our Finder window. So as you can see, we have our Finder window right here. We're in the download section. We're just gonna double click on this, and it's going to extract the file. Okay, now we have the Rubberband's directory right here. So give yourself a clap. You now have the source code, okay? All right, so now we need to work with this thing. Let's build this library. We're gonna do this real quick, guys. I wanna use VS Code. And the reason why I wanna use VS Code is because I'm going to be running some terminal commands, but I also wanna show you the structure of Rubberband, and how it's gonna change as we're doing some coding. So to get this in here, to open it, just drag that folder directory right in there, and you see, voila, boom, it opened. So now Rubberband is open inside of VS Code. To the left panel, you can see the file structure. Okay, all right, so now what I'm going to do here is let's open up a new terminal. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So this is where we're going to run all of our terminal commands. Now you can use the regular terminal that comes on your Mac. That's fine. Just make sure that you CD into the Rubberband's library before you start doing anything. All right, so another thing too, guys, I want to open up my browser, and I created this guide here. So this GitHub repository, I shared it. It's inside of the description area. And what you guys will be able to do with it is you're going to be able to, get some actual instructions on how to build this library. But I'm also going to have some examples. Now, we have more examples that's going to be to cover Mac builds, iOS builds, Windows builds, as well as Android and Linux builds. Those are all coming. But today, we're going to be focusing on Apple, okay? So we're going to be focusing on Apple. Now, as you can see here, we have a few required tools we're going to need. We're going to need Homebrew. We're going to need Meson, Ninja, and some other stuff here. Now, this list, there's a few little things I left out. We'll add those in. Of course, I have some of these things, all the tools that we're needing. I already have these installed on my computer, but I'm going to have a list of stuff here for you that you're going to need, at least on the Mac machines. And there's plenty of videos of how to install those tools. So a few directories to keep in mind. a few directories to keep in mind, or the file structure of stuff that, of how we're organizing our files. Here you can see, this is kind of going to describe to you, we're going to have some headers. This is kind of where they're going to be, cross files, and of course, most important, our bills. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll on down here. So first set of instructions, it tells us here that we need to see the inside of the Rubberband's library. We're already there because we opened it in VS Code, but there's two directories that we need to create. We're going to need to create a directory for a universal iOS simulator build, as well as a frameworks. Now, I'm going to explain this all to you guys later, but let us go ahead and copy this, and instead of VS Code, we're going to just paste it in and hit enter. Now, we hit enter. As you can see right here, we have a builds directory now. A build directory. I don't know why I made that plural, but build directory. And we have this iOS simulator universal and XC frameworks slice. I'm gonna shrink that down. Like I said, I will explain that to y'all guys a little later. All right, so our next set of instructions that we need to do, as you can see, is let me see here. Let me fix something here. All right, just wanted to fix my music, guys. All right, yeah, so the next thing that we need to do is we're going to need to create a cross file. Cross files are what Meeson use to build, things like our libraries. Let me kind of explain something before we go to this here. I'm gonna open up this cross. So as y'all guys know, again, we did say that this is gonna be for Mac today, and we're gonna create, and just let you know, we're gonna create a library, or let's say framework. It's going to work for iOS, it's gonna work for simulator, and it's gonna work for Mac. Okay, as you can see here, we have a iOS cross file. This is an iOS simulator, but then here we have the iOS.txt cross file. This is for real devices, and as you guess it, down here we have our Mac ARM space. That's going to be the Apple Silicon. Down here we have the Mac Intel base, but we have also a Mac Universal. So Mac Universal is going to run on either or. Okay, of course, you guys see we have Windows. We ain't thinking about Windows today. I'm not dissing Windows, we're focusing on Apple. Now, an important thing here, this right here is our simulator cross file. This right here is a Intel base. So like, if you think about it, you have your Mac computer, the simulator is what's going to be running on the Mac. If your Mac is a Intel base Mac, then you're going to be using a simulator build for Intel based Mac. Here you can see that we don't have a build for a Silicon based Mac. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a cross file that's going to allow us to build on the Apple Silicon, the M chip processors, Apple's processors, okay? Macs. Now, once we have did that, we're going to create a universal library so that we can have a simulator that's going to run on Intel based Macs as well as Apple Silicon based Macs. And then we're going to package everything up into a framework, okay? So that we can have one library or one framework that you could put it on any Mac, Intel based or Apple Silicon based, and you can run the Rubberband library on your simulator as well as a real device, or if you want to create a Mac version of Rubberband. Okay. All right. So sorry did all that talking. I just kind of wanted to explain that to you. Okay. So instructions state here that we want to save a file. Now, we want to do this here. Let's make sure that we don't copy cross here. Maybe we need to take that out, but don't copy cross. We just want to copy iOS hyphen simulator hyphen arm64 txt, okay? Or just, come in your cross folder and create a new file, okay? And just like that. That's all we want to do. Hit enter. Gonna go back to our instructions and just copy all of this in here. And we're gonna say boom. Okay? Save that. Okay? All right. I'm not even gonna explain this to y'all guys. Pretty sure that y'all guys have figured it out. A lot of y'all guys are gonna be pros at this already. Yeah, we won't even talk about this. Okay, so that's saved. Now, per our instructions, what we want to do now is we're going to start creating our builds, okay? So we're gonna do first, I'm gonna copy this. Now, of course, guys, we can, you can copy all of this right here. I do like to, do one line at a time, and that's just so that I can see like any errors that are gonna pop up, okay? So let's clear this out here. Clear, enter. We're gonna paste that in. Now, this is saying Mason setup, build iOS device, and then it's saying what cross file. It's saying iOS.txt. The build type is release. Now, y'all guys probably like, hey, why are you gonna be using making a release build and you're gonna be, debugging this thing and of course you're gonna be, developing it. Release builds work regardless if you're doing development or not. So mine is gonna be release. If you want yours to be development, fine, but just make sure before you release this to a real device, do a release build, okay? All right, let's hit enter. Okay, it's going. Uh-oh, guys. Mason build error. Shared or static library atomic not found. You know what? What I like to do, we have an error. I have a special tool, guys. Now, don't hate on me. Don't beat me up. But I think it's perfect for this kind of stuff. Chat GPT. Make sure that y'all guys get the Chat GPT app, not to teach you how to code, not to write code for you, but it's an assistant to help you. Building Rubberband Library and have this error. All you need to do is come here, copy this stuff just like this, boom. Come down a few lines and say, this is my cross file. And then just go here, iOS, copy that cross file right in there. How do I fix this? Only give me the correct cross file. And let it do what it's going to do, okay? Now, look, I already know what's wrong. All right, I'm gonna just hit stop. I know what's wrong with this, okay? So, as you can see here, this is the family, the CPU family, and then there are some, common arguments, That's what's creating the problem, okay? So let's just take and get all of that out. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this cross file right here, okay? I already knew this error. I just wanted y'all guys to see it. So as you can see here, our new cross file this is what we're doing different. It's this last line, okay? So save. All right, that's clear. Okay. What do we need to do? We need to do the build thing again, right? So boom, and then I'm gonna say voila, enter. Look at there, guys. It worked. It worked. Use your chat GPT only as an assistant, okay? All right, so next, I'm gonna select this here, and we'll come here, Ninja, C, build, and then this is our directory, okay? So enter. It's doing its thing. It's doing its thing. Please, guys, if you're thinking that this is interesting or you're finding this useful, please hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button so that you can keep up with, like, you know, when I release some more content, you'll be able to keep up with that stuff as well. All right, so we got that one done. Now we need to start on our simulators. Same deal. I don't need to open that. This stroke. Gosh, what am I doing? Let's get that out of the way. All right. So I like to clear every time I do these things to kind of keep my thing clear. Same deal, guys. This is our new build directory, and this is the cross file that we're selecting. That's the cross file that we made. Okay. Gonna hit enter. Voila. Back over here. We're gonna be jumping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, that's done. All right, next, we're gonna do the Intel-based simulator. Okay, clear. Doing that because I want to be able to keep up with all of my errors as they arise. Okay. Voila. Okay. Good to go. All right, so now optional Mac. Yeah, we want Mac to be in this thing. Okay, so copy this over, and we're gonna say boom. Oh, I told y'all guys what I like to do. I like to clear my stuff out, and yeah, there's a reason, because like if you have like any errors or anything, it's much more easier to find your errors, you know, with a clean terminal. Something that's depreciated. Okay. This built, but I saw something that says depreciated. Let's see here, depreciated. Boom. Okay. All right, I know what that is. So go to the Mac Universal. We're not gonna do the Mac ARM or this. We're using the Universal so that we can, you know, utilize this on any Mac. This is what it's talking about right here. This line here. Pretty much all we need to do is just add a dash there. Literally, it's telling us replace by, boom. Okay. So we gotta do. So hit enter, and then we'll just close all that. All right. So clear. We're gonna run that over again, okay? It says directory already configured. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to my builds, and I'm gonna go to my Mac Universal. Let's delete this out of here. Do I need to do this? No, I don't. I'm doing it because I just didn't like what I saw when that thing said depreciated, okay? Boom. Everything successful. Ninja. Y'all like that music? It's good coding vibes, right? All right, so everything is okay. Now, we got an error. Linker. So something didn't link correctly. Okay, so this is fine. This is all fine, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why, because this is a dynamic. That's a dynamic build. We're not using dynamic builds. We're using static builds, so that's fine. If you want this fixed, copy this here, all the way up. I will go all the way up to here and just copy that all the way down, put it in ChatGPT like I showed you earlier, and tell it, how do I fix this? That issue is probably going to be editing the cross file. We don't need to worry about that. Let's go ahead and continue. All right. So, step 3, we want to merge the iOS simulator slices into a universal library so as you can see here, if we go to build, you can see we have this iOS, we have the library for that. It's literally right there. That's going to be for Silicon based Macs, and right here is going to be the library for Intel based Macs. It's here, it's right there. What we want to do is we want to merge it. See, there's nothing in here in this directory. We want to merge it so that we have a universal build. So I'm gonna leave this drop so that you can see it happen. All right, to do that, we want to use a lipto create, and basically, we're gonna say we're grabbing this file here. We're grabbing this file, which is libraries, and then we're gonna output it like so. Okay, that's all we're doing. So boom, copy, clear, drop it in there. Look at that, y'all. Hey, we got us a universal Rubberband library right there for our simulators. So now look, we have all of our libraries. We have the library for the iOS real device. We have the one for the simulator, universal, and then for the Mac, universal. That's all we really need now. So from here, we need to start tagging these, because if you was to, let's say that if you skip step 4 and you try to go to step 5, you're gonna get errors, because I think it's Xcode is not going to know what frameworks is or not frameworks, what architecture or what target or something like that. It's not going to know the target. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we are going to tag these. We're going to tag all of these. So just hit copy. Just hit copy. We'll do them all together. Okay. Now, yeah, we'll just do them all together. Clear. Drop that in like that right there. Basically, all this is saying right here is saying, hey, go to the ARMS base and make sure that you go to the ARMS. It's saying go to the real device. Make sure that you tag it as a ARMS device. Go to the simulator. Make sure that you tag it as a universal. And then, of course, down here at the bottom, Mac, make sure that it's tagged as a Mac universal. That's all it's doing. Okay, so just hit enter. Take a deep breath in. Woo. And breathe out. Okay. No errors. If nothing prints out, there's no errors. If something successful prints out, there's no errors. If you got an error, it's going to say error. We don't have no error, so we're good. We can move on. Let's go ahead and clear this terminal, guys. We're almost done. I tell you, we're almost done with this thing. All right. So from here, we want to create a frameworks. Now, if you don't want a frameworks, if you're saying, hey, all I want to do is build this thing for a real device and I'm going to test it on a real device, I'm going to debug and develop this thing on a real device, you could have just used the library from, that we created a while back for whatever you want to use it for. So if it's going to be a real iOS device, you could have just used that cross file and that library and been done. We're creating a framework so that we can have everything like a big old huge library. It's not a big library, but it's like having a big library that's going to allow you, in a sense, to say, I don't have to take and test on simulator and then swap out the library file for a real device, vice versa with the Mac. You don't have to do that. That's the reason why we're creating a framework. So how do we finish and create this framework? Just copy this line right here. Now I'm not gonna go through, well, I'm gonna go through it. Hit copy. Let's go back to VS Code. Remember I told y'all guys you don't have to use VS Code. I'm using VS Code just so that you can see what I'm doing over here in this left column, okay? I'm gonna paste this on in here. All right. So what we have here, we're basically saying, I want to create my frameworks. Now, what do I want in my frameworks? I want this library. We got to have a header. So headers, where's my headers? This is the directory where your headers are, okay? The Rubberband headers. So right here, this is where your Rubberband headers. I did not add this. This is exactly how it comes when you download the Rubberband library. So in future updates, if they reorganize their file structure, you're gonna need to have the location where the headers are. All you gotta do is just find where your headers is. And then once you know where the headers are, the main headers, the Rubberband headers that is, you're just gonna put it in right here, okay? So that's for the real device. But then here we also have our simulator universal, and then we lastly, the last library, which starts here, is for our Mac. And then we're saying, hey, output all of those into a libraries to a frameworks and just put it there. So hit enter. Oh man, that looks so good. You know why that look good? Because we have a framework, guys. We have built successfully the Rubberband library for iOS, real devices, simulators. Not only that, Mac as well. We'll package it into a frameworks, and let me show you where it is. Inside of our build directory, right here, Rubberband XC frameworks. It's all right there. That looks so good. All right, so look, let's go ahead and move on forward. Let's get this added to a Juce project, okay? All right, so look, we're finished with VS Code. So I'm gonna close it, say goodbye to it. These instructions right here, guess what? We're done with those. We'll shrink that page on off. Let's go to Juce. All right, so from Juce, we're gonna go over here and get Juce, and then we'll get this source code. I'm gonna take the free version because we're not paying nothing today because this is just a tutorial. Okay, so download free. Now, I believe I heard from the Juce team that if you do like a git clone of the repository, you get the latest build. But I think all of these are up to date anyways. I'm gonna select here Mac Juce Pro Juicer. Okay, click on that. Once that finished downloading, guess what? We're done with Safari. Close it, out the way. All right, you see right here, we got the Juce folder. We're gonna click on Juce, and we're gonna open up Pro Juicer. Now I know some of y'all professional guys, y'all probably laughing at me. You probably like, man, this guy, what is he doing? You know, you're gonna appreciate this though. Now we're gonna use Producer because I'm not using CMake and all that kind of stuff. So here we go. Hit open. Now, because this is just a demonstration of showing you how to add it to a Juice project, we're gonna make another video later that's gonna show you how to literally, you know, code the Rubberband library. But this is kind of showing you just how to add it. Let's create a. We're gonna leave all this default GUI. We're gonna call this the Juice Rubber. Is I'm spelling that right? Gosh, Rubberband project. I hope I'm spelling that right. Forgive me if I'm not. We ain't gonna add no modules, but important. Select the right exporter. Now, because we, you know, create our frameworks here, it doesn't matter. You can select Mac OS. That's fine. You can select iOS or both of them. I'm just gonna go with iOS because by heart I am a Swift. I am a iOS developer, JavaScript developer by heart. So you know we're just gonna go with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and create project. We're gonna save it to the downloads folder, and yeah. So now, once we're here, once you're right here inside of Producer, first thing I like to do is click on my gear icon, and then I like to scroll down, and I like to change the C++ language standard, and I like to go with C++ 20. From there, all we need to do is come down here to where it says Xcode, and then inside of Xcode, what we want to do is scroll down, and there's something that we're looking for, and that's going to be, yeah, we're looking for embedded frameworks, not extra custom frameworks. We don't want to do that. We don't even need frameworks search path. Only thing we need to do is embedded frameworks. Okay, now let me show you what we're gonna do. Open that Finder window up, and then you're gonna go to your downloads, go inside of that Rubberband directory, and once you're inside that Rubberband directory, go to your builds, or I keep doing it, guys. I keep saying builds. It's build. Go to your build directory. And once you're at that build directory, this folder right here, don't open it. Just take this folder and drag it right into embedded frameworks, just like that. We're gonna close that. So it's gonna look just like this, okay? Now, once you have done that, go to debugging or debug, scroll down, change the target. I want my target to be 15.2 at least. This don't really matter, but there's some things that you may say, hey, it's only available in certain versions or certain development targets or certain targets. So 15.2, we're keeping 15.2 in mind, okay? You're gonna wanna do the same thing in release, 15.2. Make sure that those two things matching. Once we're done with that, guys, look, hit the save button. Once you hit the save button, it's going to launch Xcode, okay? Now, Xcode is open. We wanna verify to make sure that our framework was added successfully. How do we do that? Let's just minimize all this down for a second, okay? Click your project here, click the target, come over here to build phases. Then we're gonna come down and we're going to select link binary with libraries. There are ours right there. Rubberband.xc framework. Okay? Once you have that right there, you can take your deep breath in and breathe out. Because now what we're about to do is we're about to check to make sure that this framework is working. Okay? Let's close that. Go into the project folder, go to source, and let's go to main component. Now, this is where you would do your coding, yada, yada, yada. We're not doing coding here. I'm just showing you that, you know, we're able to read the headers and utilize Rubberband. So come here, boom, include. And we're going to say rubber. Look, guys, there it is. Rubberband. Those are the headers. Rubber. So y'all guys are probably use what? I don't know. Rubberband stretcher.h. Just like that right there. And once you have that, let's see here. See, I got some code to the side here. Let's do this here. Look at that. I pasted this function in here. It's not doing anything, but you know, we're basically created. I'm not a C++ developer by heart, but I do know a little bit of C++. I believe this is called a construct. If not, y'all guys just comment, beat me up or whatever. Anyways, however, you can see we're able to utilize the Rubberband library and call upon its methods, functions, yada yada. Now, before we end this live here, I need to show you one more thing. I need to show you how to add this to a plain Xcode project. Okay, so let's just we're gonna quit Xcode, and let me just close that out, and we'll quit Producer, and we'll say Xcode. Now let us do this. iOS app. Next. And we'll call this Rubberband. And then we're going to say Rubberband iOS project. Okay. Storyboard. Objective C. We don't need to test nothing. Next. We're going to go a step farther. I'm going to also show y'all guys how to do this on Mac as well, just so that you can see that it does work. Okay, so create. All right, we're here, and then we're going to click the project. We're going to click on the target, go ahead to build phase, and then we'll hit link binaries with libraries. Boom. And then we're going to say add other, click file, and then go to download Rubberband. This is the Rubberband source code. Build, and then select. Don't click your files here. Just select the folder. Hit open. There it is. It's in blue. Frameworks over here. It's there. Okay. Let's give this a shot. I do know or feel that we're going to get an error, and I'll show you why we're going to get an error, and I'm going to show you how to fix it. So make this simple, guys. Go to your view, do view controller, and then we're gonna make this a .mm. Now this could be .cpp, whatever. If you're using peer, C++, but yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll come over here and we'll say import, and then rubber. There it goes again, Rubberband stretcher. Voila. Now, we're gonna do, I got some code over here again, guys. to the side so we don't have to do no coding. Drop 2 lines down. We're gonna drop that in there just like that. Look at that. That's nice. Boom. Okay, I don't have my device hooked up, so let's just do it like this here. Okay, simulator. Let's hit this. Uh-oh. It says a build only. What it says, a build only device cannot be used. I don't know what that means. I have no clue what that is. Is it that I gotta just select maybe a device? Maybe, I don't know. Let's see here one more time. Yeah. Okay. I did a build. I'm sorry. That's for build. We're not doing a build. We want to run it on a simulator. So that was the problem. Sorry. So yeah. We're gonna hit run thing here. Oh my gosh, guys! It failed. It failed. I told you it was gonna fail. I'm gonna show you why. Look at this. Why are we getting this here? You remember what I told y'all guys to do? When you get these errors, use ChatGPT and it will tell you what the errors is. I know how to fix this error, but let me show you. You'll say ChatGPT, then you say I have Xcode error and I am building the Rubberband Library. Well, I am not building, I'm using the Rubberband Library. And from there, take a screenshot. If you're not a pro user of ChatGPT, you should be doing an endorsement for me for this. But if you're not using the pro version, of course you can't use screenshot. You just have to copy this stuff over into the ChatGPT window, and it will tell you, hey, this is what you need to do to fix it. Anyways, we're gonna close that. I think I already know how to fix it. Go to your project, okay? Target, back over here to link libraries and binaries with libraries, and we need to add in this accelerator. That's required. That's like a required framework, I think, for Rubberband. And depending on what else you're doing inside of Rubberband, you may have to add something like core audio. You may have to add core, I don't know, you may not have to do core MIDI, but you may have to do core audio or AV foundation or yada yada. But yeah, for this here, accelerator frameworks, hit add. Okay, now let's try it. Voila, build success. And got a simulator here. Yeah, it's a blank page. Why is a blank page? Because it's a storyboard project and we ain't did nothing to it, guys. Okay, all right, so that shows you that we're able to work, we're able to do this for iOS. Now let me show you that you can do this also for Mac. Okay, let's close this here and we'll create a new project. Mac app, boom. Let's change this name to Mac. Now, if y'all guys was inside of Juice, this would work the same way. Nothing, you wouldn't have to do anything different, and nothing at all you have to do different. What I showed you in Juice, that would work if you would have selected the iOS exporter, or if you would have selected the Mac OS exporter. But I'm actually showing you, manually how this works inside of Xcode. Click on a project, target, build phase, boom. Y'all guys know there's two things we're gonna need. We're gonna go ahead and just get this accelerator because we know we're gonna need it. And then, boom, other, add file, and hit downloads. Go to the Rubberband source code. I'm gonna say it right this time. Build directory. And then we're gonna hit the Rubberband framework. Okay, it's right there, showing our frameworks there. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing. Okay, go here, do boom, and then we're gonna grab this same bit of code that I grabbed earlier. Import Rubberband stretcher, 3 lines down, boom, give it some time to think. As you can see, our target now is, well, our machine is my Mac. So if I hit this, hopefully, look at it, build success, and you have the window. Now, of course, you know, guys, y'all would use the Rubberband library, and you have your user interface, whether you're in Juce or plain Xcode project. All right, look, that wraps it up for this video. That wraps this up for this live. Now, I'm gonna do another live later, so make sure that you guys hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button, so when I drop the next live, which is going to be showing you how to code and utilize the Rubberband library, you'll know when the video comes live. Okay, so until that time, again, please hit that like button, subscribe button, and I'll see you later.